Or maybe it's an orb. Yeah, that'll be my first thought.
Yeah.
Are you an orb?
Are you an orb? What's up, guys? How are you guys all doing out there today?
Hey everyone, we missed you.
Yes, we've missed you guys so much. Feels like it's been an eternity since we last saw you guys.
Ba-da-ba.
And that's what we're going to be talking about today. To Your Eternity, episode 1.
Oh my gosh. This anime, I love it.
I'm so hyped for this anime.
Yeah,
It's so good. It looks so good. It sounds so good. It has that fire opening by Utada Hikaru.
Mm-hmm.
Giving me some Kingdom Hearts vibes.
Mm-hmm. And Ava movie vibes.
Yeah, for sure. And then the voice acting is so good. Oh man, this anime honestly checks all the boxes
I
for
know,
me.
and even the story is so intriguing. Like it's like this orb, and oh gosh, it's pulling me in. I'm like
I'm
there.
so into this.
Yeah.
Like crazy. You guys don't
it's
even
so
know.
good.
Yo, the first thing I gotta mention is we get narration by Kenjiro Suda. He's basically my favorite voice actor.
He is. Chris's eyes lit up when he heard him, but
I don't know if he's gonna be an actual character or if he's just gonna be a narrator or whatever, but I am so excited to hear more of him.
yeah, for sure, the coolest narrator voice ever.
Yeah, I love everything that he does. All the characters that he's played so far, and yeah, really excited to see more of my boy Kenjiro Suda. And then yeah, I just want to talk a little bit more about the VA work that's being done in here. Our boy Reiji Kawashima here. He only has 3 credits to his name so far. He's relatively new to the scene, and man, this boy already made me cry.
I know. Oh my gosh, just the perfect like synergy of the voice acting and the animation is just so perfect.
So
like
good.
this character was brought to life, and I felt so much for this character all the way through.
Oh, show. Damn. And then I just wanted to talk about, I'm a part of the Discord server as well, and they showed me that, yeah, he has 17 notebooks filled. He just really wanted to get this character down, and it really shows. And I honestly feel like he really did nail this episode so far, and I'm excited to see his work in the next following episodes.
Yeah, for sure. Like I'm looking forward just for the rest of the series, but also like his future work. I love him already. Like, he's great.
And then I want to highlight this little chart that that they showed me on that Discord. And it kind of shows, this is all speculation for now, but it kind of follows the course of this episode. You can kind of see a incline when Joanne first appears and a slight dip when he starts talking about his grandparents and the villagers. And then if you look towards the end of the chart, it goes up and down like a roller coaster. And the end of this episode is truly an emotional roller coaster. It had me
really
have ups and downs.
No.
And I am so excited to talk about it.
I know. I really felt like I was watching some like Shakespearean play. Just like there was so much to this journey that all the way got there, and then there's such a tragic ending, but it was so beautiful that you still enjoy it.
This is an absolutely beautiful episode filled with so much emotion, tragedy beyond anything I've seen so far in this season, and it's truly an incredible start to the series. So we're just gonna go through our highlights of this episode and just kind of have a little chat about it.
Yeah.
So just to let you know, guys, Reshi wolves are not real.
I know. That was the first thing I looked up too. I was like, Reshi Wolf, how come I haven't heard of this?
Yeah,
What
I was
is
like,
this?
how come I've never heard of this?
Yeah.
Apparently it's just a fictional wolf that's unique to this universe or this world. And then I guess we're going to be seeing a lot more kind of unique animals and fauna throughout the series. And I'm really excited to see what they come up with. Kind of giving me Avatar vibes a little bit.
The blue ones?
No, Airbender. Not that. Awa. Oh my God, Awa. Not Awa.
But yeah, no, I totally agree. Like I'm already enjoying like this world building. Like I want to see all these different animals. I want to see all the different environments that they're gonna go through.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah. So yeah, it's exciting. I'm down.
I'm
like
so excited for this.
This detailed with all the characters already, you know that the world building for this is gonna be so like fulfilling, and you're gonna be like, oh man, check out this. So
no, right when he turns into Joanne too, I thought that was really funny when he like takes his first steps and no. He's just like that. I was like,
yeah, and that was one of the biggest questions for me. I was like, okay, so once he turns into the thing, like, does he know how to walk already? Does he know how to do all of these? But right there, we were just answered. No, he doesn't. He's just gonna learn like on the spot.
Entirely a new learning experience for everything. He doesn't gain any of the knowledge from or experiences of the people or things that he turns into.
Yeah, no, exactly. And like this is when like the boy needs to like reteach Joanne basically how to like do anything. Like he even shows him like, this is your favorite food. Why don't you love your favorite food? And I just have to say, the emotions that they've animated into the wolf are so good.
Yes,
you could
it
see,
is so good.
You could see the confusion. You could kind of see the like, what are you talking about kind of thing.
Yeah, the wolf has such good expressions.
Yeah, and
sure.
like they don't have a mouth or anything, so like it's these tiny little details that they put in, and it's just so clear,
expressive, so emotive,
so emotive for sure. And I really thought it was funny. It was so funny, and it's and then like. Just kind of going more on top of that is like the best part when he teaches him how to eat, and he's like, you take the food and you eat, and then he goes and he shows him the empty mouth to know like this is how you eat, and the dog eats, and he shows the open mouth. Like,
I would freak out if my dog did
how would
that.
you feel if you told you talked to your dog, this is how you eat, and you open your mouth, and he did the same thing? I'd be like, oh my god, I need to record this. My dog is the smartest dog ever.
It was an alien, or maybe it was an orb,
or maybe it's an orb. Yeah. That'll be my first thought.
Yeah.
Are you an orb?
Are you an orb? And then I want to talk about my favorite scene in this whole episode was when he's thinking about the villagers. He's thinking about his grandparents. He's drawing him and Joanne, and then the feelings that are evoked in this scene, those feelings of like loneliness and ennui that you get, and that is so expressed so well by the voice actor. My boy Reiji, he killed it. He says that I want to meet all sorts of people and feel all sorts of things. And this is his motivation to start his journey, right?
Totally. Yeah. And I just feel like you could completely relate to him because like now he's setting out on this journey, and like you could feel his optimism. You could see his determination.
Yeah.
And I think like all of us have that feeling too when you're kind of growing up and you're trying to like find your way. Like you want to experience things. You want to go out and like try new things.
Yeah, like maybe trying some fruit for the first time. Oh, what? This kid didn't even try fruit.
I know.
Or maybe try something sweet. Oh my gosh.
Well, how do you even explain sweet to someone? I don't even know.
Yeah, this boy has never even experienced something sweet. Honestly, all kids of all ages need to at least try something sweet. And he's only had, fish? Oh, and he's never... I think I've had a vegetable before.
No, he's probably had never eaten anything green, unless he's eaten like seaweed, maybe. Yeah. I don't know. Seaweed count as a vegetable?
I don't know. Is it?
Oh, yeah. You can have a sea cucumber. So finally, he's out on his journey, and I don't know. This should have already been like the first red flag for his first journey, but he falls through some thin ice. And he gets like a huge gash on his leg.
Yeah, he has like splinters just in there.
Yeah, and then he just tries to like wrap it up and just push through. And honestly, this is like the one part where I feel like a little bit of experience, maybe a little bit of advice from an adult would have been like, hey, you're hurt. You need to go home first, and then once you're better, then go on your journey. But instead, he doesn't know. He's just this young boy, and he's naive that he could push through. And
he should have turned back at this point.
It just gets worse.
If only he just turned back at this point. And then the feelings, the emotions of dread when you see like his legs swelling up. You see his fingers turning red. His nose is turning red. His nose begins to run. And then you kind of suspect that something may just happen here.
I know. This part, I literally was like, don't do this to me, anime. Don't do this to me, anime. And then I'm like, this anime's gonna do it to us. Dang it. This sweet boy. Oh god, it's coming. It's coming. Oh, and then another red flag as he pushed through. What does he see? He sees the wreckage of some wagons and some tombstones that look similar to his village.
Is this supposed to be the failed expedition?
I really think
village,
so.
right?
Yeah, I think this is he met up to where they were, or where they last stood.
Yeah. Oh man. And then the emotional breakdown in this scene where he realizes their failure, and then he realizes his own failure and accepts it, and finally breaks down to the point where he decides to, after all that positivity, all that like I'm gonna keep pushing on, he finally decides to give up. go back home.
Crawling back into his...
Literally crawling back into his...
God.
And, this whole
just spiraling
scene
down.
is so heartbreaking.
It really is. It's so sad to see this character who was so optimistic, who was so like he felt like he was meant to make something of himself and, you know, change his life. And there he is just dying alone.
Breathing heavily. The part when he's like breathing heavily, right? And he has like the towel on his head and he's like... And he knows, man. He knows at this point he's gonna die.
Yeah.
And then he decides, you know what? I want to at least not seem pathetic when they finally come back. I'm gonna sit in my chair and...
Gosh, this part was so heartbreaking. It
was hard to watch, to be honest.
He's like trying so hard to get in his chair. He's putting on his gloves.
Yeah, when he's putting on his gloves, man.
It was like so sad. And he sits there trying to look his best, or at least his best when he goes, and eventually his head falls back and he dies. And that's when his body falls out of the chair, and the orb goes closer to him, and he even tries to like it seems like the orb tries to like wake him up or try something, but then that's when he transforms. And
and then we get to see this scene where he meets up with his villagers again. And Bittersweet.
I feel like bittersweet because you're so like happy for him that he's seeing all the people he loved. He's seeing the real Joanne. He's seeing everyone and meeting everyone. He's so jovial, but this is in reality he's dead. He's seeing people who are also dead, but being reunited. And man, it was hard. It was so sad.
Good. Like, it's so good though.
Oh, and there's one thing that I just want to add about like once the orb turned into the boy was that like, of course, like when he transformed, he actually fell out of the chair. But once he transformed, he did move the boy back into his chair before he left. So before he even closed the door.
I didn't even notice
that. And I was kind of just like, I wonder if that was just something that he felt after he transformed to the boy, because the boy was so like adamant that I want to be sitting in my chair when I go. And so he puts him back. So I don't know. It seems kind of like maybe that's something it felt after transformed into the boy, or even maybe he felt that was the right thing to do. So I really like that. I thought that was sweet, and I don't know if the orb even meant to do that as a sweet thing. Maybe he just felt like it was the right thing.
Yeah, could be his thoughts kind of lingering in him still.
Yeah,
it's interesting. But yeah, and I love the way they end the episode. Comes back in with that Kenjiro Suda narration, and it just says it will meet all kinds of people and feel all kinds of things. And it's exactly those same words and the hopes, those goals that nameless boy had. Beautiful ending, simply tragic and beautiful episode. Really good stuff. Really,
yeah, it was so good.
That first episode was so damn strong.
I did not expect any of that, but I loved all of it.
Let's move on to the second episode, boys and girls.
Yeah, second episode? Oh my gosh. Okay, new character.
Yes, and we are introduced to
a rambunctious girl, which is the title. And I love this rambunctious girl. Oh, March is her name, and she's just such an adorable girl. Like she's so
excited.
Full of energy. Yeah. I really love the character design. Like I think they did a good job just kind of balancing this like really cuteness about her.
Yeah, she has a really like almost like round or squarish like, face, like, and she has the gap in her teeth.
Yeah.
Oh man, she's so adorable.
I love these like little rambunctious girl characters. Like if anything, she also reminds me of Naru from Barakamon. Which I love, which is like my favorite anime. So I'm all about this little rambunctious girl. So let's get into it. I mean, at the beginning, I was still questioning, like, how does this work? How does the orb even survive or whatever? So we finally learned, like right here, the orb can just die and come back.
Yeah, apparently it dies six
times, and it's pretty brutal when it's all showing all these different ways.
Yeah, there's dying. Like one where he's just like crushed by rocks, and then the first way he dies, he doesn't know anything. He doesn't even know how to drink water. Doesn't know how to
doesn't even know how to pick up his pants to poop and pee. It's like, geez, it doesn't know. It literally doesn't know anything. It just can kind of walk somewhere until it dies again.
Yeah, and it comes back to life. And he does this like whole like thriller moment when he comes back to life here.
Yeah, I know. The animation for that too is like oh, that's like really freaky. If I saw that. But also the cool thing too is like as it keeps reanimating, it also gets shorter. Yeah, like the time is getting faster and faster. So
And then we kind of see this polar bear-like creature.
Oh yeah, it kills him again.
And kills him. Yeah. Is this Oniguma?
Yeah,
Right?
it seems like it because
Seems
like,
like it is.
they had like a little like rug in the back, and it
Oh,
kind of showed it. It
yeah,
looked like
you're right.
this bear with spikes in it. And what's
Yeah,
up with this
first time
bear though? It
watching
has
it, I
like
didn't even
spikes
notice
and
it.
like
Yeah, why
blood
does it
coming out
have
of its eyes. I don't know.
That's interesting.
wonder
well,
it's
it
mad.
could just be a really another unique
Oh, you're right.
creation.
Yeah, maybe it is like just a special bear in this world.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so who are they gonna sacrifice? Of course, they're gonna pick March to sacrifice to this bear.
I love the part where she, when they're choosing her and it zooms in on the old lady's nose hairs.
They're like breathing. It's like, oh, and like as they were taking her away, so they already setting her up to take her away. And there's this little part where she looks outside and she's that hawk that flies through. I just love that animation where you kind of see the reflection of the hawk in her eyes, and then it's like
Yeah, that
a
was a really
silent
cool
moment, and then bam, she books it.
Yeah, it kind of leads into her own flight.
Yeah, and it's just at that moment too when Perona kind of shoots her weird arrow out.
Oh, dude, I want to talk about that. Like, did you think that like she was gonna be like pro at like being an archer when they kind of first introduce her and they show her there?
They show her like aiming. They show the target. You're like, oh, she's gonna be pro. Like we were even saying like, she's gonna be Kiki, right? You're gonna shoot the arrow in the arrow, and it's gonna be like, wow, amazing. And she doesn't even hit the target at all.
I love how it hits something else and then the arrow spins, and then we see the same thing later when she tries to shoot Hayase,
that guard lady.
The guard lady.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and it hits her in the head, and there's like a little
with
bruise.
spinning arrow.
Didn't hurt her at all.
Special technique, non-lethal technique.
Yeah, non-lethal. Totally on purpose.
Yeah, totally on purpose. And then, oh, dude, we got to talk about this awesome scene with the orb regenerating.
Oh my gosh. Oh, this scene was so well animated.
Yes.
And it was
Wasn't
so
it?
intense.
It was so intense.
It was so intense. I was not expecting them to meet right there, especially when she's just like in the water washing her face, and then it's like there's an eyeball. There's an eyeball there. I know, and it like moves.
It's like, excuse me, that's my eyeball.
Yeah, I know, eyeball. And I was like, oh, it's like Parasite. There's like eyeball.
Yeah. It's so well animated. The regeneration, like the bones, the muscles forming again.
Yeah.
And then
Oh, I love that zoom into the different parts that you're talking about, like the arm, and then it goes to the torso.
yeah, and then you can kind of see like it seems like the clothing that he has is also part of, because all the clothing regenerates as well. And then you can even see the bandages like on his leg are kind of like reforming again and rewrapping themselves. So like his entire being is the clothing and the bandages as well.
Yeah,
And then
exactly
those
how he was
guys-
left.
Yeah, and those guys, I understand why those guys ran away too. 'Cause that shit was freaking wild.
That was so like zombie-like thing, and then like his like ribs
I'm surprised
were out.
March did not get scared
Me
at this
too.
point.
I don't know if
She's
she
a
was just
brave
like
girl.
shocked, but like I would be so freaked out just watching it in front of you.
Yeah, and then oh dude, this is one of my favorite scenes too when we see them kind of interacting for the first time and eating together. kind
Yeah.
of, somewhat.
Yeah, when they see the fruit.
Yeah.
She gives him the fruit for the first time, and he's wild. Like
Man, this
literally
boy is
wild.
wild. And she's like trying to hand it to him, and then he literally smacks it out of her hand. No, I prefer it on the ground.
I know, eats it without his hands, just animal style.
Oh, and then we have to talk about this. This really weird thing happens where the eyeballs of the orb change back to the color of the nameless boy.
Right.
And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Is the boy still in there? Is his consciousness, was it transferred to the orb at least slightly?
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah, because
Something about like eating the fruit.
yeah, something about like eating the fruit and like kind of fulfilling that goal of trying sweetness for the first time. Yeah, I hope that he's still in there somehow. And
Yeah.
and maybe when his eyes shift, maybe that's him still in there.
Yeah, maybe that was him actually getting to try the fruit. Even if it wasn't directly him, it was his memories that the orb absorbed when he turned into him or something like that. So, and then also at that point, he no longer like slapped it out of her hand. Like when the eyes
Oh, yeah,
changed,
yeah.
like he actually ate it nicely out of her
Really?
hand.
I didn't even notice. Wow.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe like a little bit of his own self still kind of went to the orb to be like, you don't have to be that wild.
Yeah, because that boy is wild.
And I just really like this whole part of her like feeding him and going through this whole emotional roller coaster of like trying to feed him. I want to eat myself, and it like attacks her and she starts crying because, she's just a little
Poor
girl.
little girl. Poor Marge.
She's trying to help, but she can only handle so much.
Yeah.
And then as she
gets frustrated.
She gets frustrated, and it's like, oh, poor thing. And then at the end, I feel like she gets what she wants,
her goal of being an adult.
To be adult and be a mom.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be your mom. Mama Janai. It was so cute.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to the relationship. Like, I really am. Like, hopefully she will be able to teach him more and they'll build
Hopefully
something.
she doesn't get sacrificed.
Hope not.
We don't know, but if I've learned anything from this anime, anything can happen.
Totally.
Anyone can die.
Anyone, I know. I don't want to get so attached to her, but I already am. But I'm hoping maybe they'll give them a little time before that
Yeah,
happens.
I mean, they made you fall in love with that super nice boy,
I know that
and then they just took him away.
took him away.
I wouldn't be surprised if they take March away as well. I hope not, though. I guess we'll see. I'm so excited to see the next couple episodes.
Yeah.
So excited.
Yeah, I know. It was so
This
good.
anime is our favorite of the season so far.
Yep. Totally.
Really excited.
Like, I was so head over heels over the first one, and then when I watched the second one, I was just even more in love with the characters, more in love with the story. Like, I'm so looking forward to this every week.
Yes, absolutely. I am sold, boys
Yes,
and girls.
I'm hooked. I'm hooked in.
I am hooked.
Bring it. I'll bring the tissue box because I know it's gonna make me cry.
Oh, hell yeah. And on that bombshell, boys and girls, that's going to be our episode. If you guys like this episode, hit that like button. Maybe consider subscribing.
Yeah, we'd appreciate it.
Yeah, we really would. And we just want to say thank you. Thank you guys for checking out this episode and
Yeah.
just being here, spending some time with us.
Yeah,
and
thank
just
you
hanging
guys.
out. Yeah. And then, well, I guess we'll catch you on the next one, guys.
See you next time. Bye.
Later.